Let's improve the node type which we defined in the previous example by applying the principles of composition. The first thing I want to do is refactor out those inspector groups and tabs into a custom mixin. So what we'll do is we create a new YAML file called NodeTypes.mixin.common inspector mixin.yaml, and let's call it my.site common inspector mixin. You will notice it doesn't get any supertypes. Instead, we'll make it abstract, so no user will see this node type in a node creation dialog, and they can't create it. And now we can simply copy this part, paste it over here, and remove the label and group, which we don't need, to simply leave the inspector tab and group. And now we can reuse this common inspector mixin node type across all the custom node types we're going to build. Let's copy its name and rewrite this into a better syntax, which is the Boolean format, and inherit from this as well. And now, of course, we can remove it from here. Let's go over to Neos to check if everything is still working fine. Reload the page. We have our custom node type here, and we still have our custom properties tab with the props group, which I can open and close, and the text property is still on it. Let's remove the inline editable property from the template and the node type because we don't need it for this example. And let's refactor the property into a mixin as well. We create a new file called text mixin. Change the name up here to text mixin. It's also abstract. And now we can copy the property from our custom content mixin over here and simply use the text mixin to inherit from. Once again, let's refresh the page to see everything is still working just fine. Of course, the inline property is removed, but the text property is still here. And if I put hello there and apply, we can see that everything's still working as it was before. To show you why composition makes a lot of sense, let's create another mixin, which we'll call a Boolean mixin. And you may have guessed it, I'll have a property called bool, which is of type Boolean. Let's give it the label of checkbox and maybe a default value of true. Now let's create another node type, which we'll simply call custom content2, and we will have it inherit from the Boolean mixin, which we just created in addition to the text mixin. Let's give it a label of custom content2. It's also going to be in the group general, and we'll give it an icon of icon bullhorn, just so we know that it's there. Let's go back to Neos, refresh, and check if our second node type is there. Here it is, custom content2. We'll get an exception, of course, if we try to render it, because there's no template yet. So let's create that as well. NodeTypes custom content2.html. And let's simply render the bool property here as well. Switch back to Neos. And we can see here that it's rendering the 1. And if I enter something here, hello Neos, and apply, it'll render that as well. Now, because I have used composition to build these node types, I can be sure that the text property, which I use here, has the same name and the same properties as the one used in the other node type. And that's a big advantage, because now we can safely use the change type function. I can simply change the type of this node type to custom content, and because I'm sure it has the same properties, it will just work. And it will also retain its value, because the name of the property is the same.